The thing I've been trying to do for the last 20 months is just explain simply that my husband Barack Obama gets it. And he doesn't just get it in some philosophical, theoretical way. He gets it because he's lived it. Perspective of someone when they've lived something. But Barack is a product of a single parent, a teenage mother who was 18 years old when she had him. And there's something that happens to you when you see the woman you love sacrifice for you. You see her working hard, sometimes relying on food stamps, and you know all she's trying to do is to show you that even when you stumble or trip or fall, that you always get up. A man who then sees that woman die at the age of 53 of ovarian cancer, the woman who has done everything to make you who you are. But to know that in her final months of life, like so many Americans, instead of worrying about getting well, she had to worry about whether the insurance would cover her health care costs because they said cancer was a pre-existing condition. See, now the question we have to ask ourselves is, don't we deserve a president that brings that perspective, who understands a single mother who knows the heartbreak of a broken healthcare system? Don't we deserve that kind of president? Well, Barack Obama gets it. He gets it because he's lived it. We've both lived it in so many ways. Yes, we have some of the best education money and loans could buy. Don't ever think for 1 second that Barack and I don't know how blessed that we've been because we had the opportunity. And we're grateful for that opportunity. Because so many kids like us didn't even have the chance to go. So we know how grateful and lucky and blessed we are. See, but the truth is that there are so many young folks like us who come out of college mired in debt because, see, when you don't have someone to pay for your education, you've got to take out these loans. And what is happening to young people all across the country is that they're forgoing the careers of their dreams because they're so in debt. See, it's very hard to think about being a teacher or a nurse or a social worker or a musician or an artist or a child advocate, because what happens out here is that the salary for those jobs will not cover the cost of the education that is simply so we're making certain careers obsolete. Young people finding themselves with so much loan debt from getting the education that they now have to get, find themselves in positions like me and Barack where we haven't even paid off our student loan debt and we have to start saving for our own kids' college. See, I say, don't we want a president that understands what it's like to carry a little debt? That's available to kids who can afford it, but it has to be available for every single. Barack gets it. He gets it because he's lived it. It's just the truth. And Barack could have done anything after graduating from college. Could have gone to Wall Street, could have made a ton of money. Instead, he became a community organizer working in neighborhoods on the south side of Chicago. Working 20 years in neighborhoods that have already felt the devastation that some communities are just now feeling. See, because on the south side of Chicago, steel plants shut down 20 years ago, jobs dried up. And there's something that happens to you when you work in those kind of communities where you see hardworking men and women. You see neighborhoods deteriorate because no one has the opportunity to work. Not because they don't have the desire. Their jobs don't exist. And when jobs dry up, people lose their hope. Communities crumble. Schools fall apart. Healthcare deteriorates. Folks go to the emergency room for their care instead of being able to go to regular doctors. Crime skyrockets. These were the kind of communities that Barack worked in for years. Working to help develop job training programs to help get folks back on their feet, developing after-school programs so that kids would have a place to go because everybody in the house is now trying to work. And I say, don't we deserve a president with that kind of experience? Barack did it. And he's the only candidate in this race who understands the challenges that Americans are facing right now. And see, we're coming at the point now where in 2 weeks we've got this choice to make. And for me, the choice is clear. As I approach this, not just as a wife, but as a mother and a daughter and a citizen, the choice is clear. See, there's only one candidate in this race. And people in Washington have been working on these issues for a long time. We know that. That affect American families. Only one candidate who understands that his economic plan has to be based around the middle class, offering tax cuts to 95% of working families. There's only one candidate who understands that. There's only one candidate who understands that we have to have a health care plan that covers every American, that reduces costs, and makes sure that every American has access to preventative health care. Only one candidate who's talking about that. There's only one candidate with a long-term plan to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. And says no longer can we rely on quick fixes, but we need to start investing now in renewable energy that will help create jobs. About that. Who has presented a comprehensive plan for improving our education system, who knows that we have to invest by recruiting a cadre of first-class teachers, that we have to put money into early childhood education. Who knows that we have to and reward the teaching and give responsibility to those in the classroom. There's only one candidate who understands that once we've done our job and we've educated all these kids, that we then have to make sure that each of them, regardless of their ability to pay, has access to higher education.